I don't understand why Pedro Pascal was in this movie, to be quite honest with you, because honestly, he could have been replaced by literally any other person and it would have been completely fine. And his acting was meh. I saw a TikTok. A lot of my videos start off with a TikTok with Denzel Washington calling Pedro Pascal a talented actor. I mean, in other movies and TV shows, but not in this one. I'm telling you right now. Gladiator 2 was actually aired on the same weekend as The Wicked. And I wanted to watch this movie because a lot of people were having mixed feelings. And then people are saying that it wasn't good. And then some people are saying that it was incredible. I am the type of person who loves Gladiator movies. I am a very multifaceted person. I'm the type of person who can watch The West Wing, the TV show, and also be stimulated by The Gladiator. I'm the same person who can honestly watch the Diplomat, one of my favorite TV shows on Netflix right now, but also love Transformers. So it's take it as much as you will. Like, it's all goes down to how you're able to create a masterpiece and meld all the pieces together. Does it all work? And when it comes to movie adaptations, when it comes to cinema and movie making and TV show making, was that the case for the Gladiator 2? I honestly do believe that is definitely the case for Gladiator 2. Gladiator 2 was incredible. In my personal opinion, I don't know what people are talking about, why they're saying that it's not good. It was actually very well done, in my personal opinion. I like to go through each and every character and give my opinions and takes, and we talk about some of the scenes that I may not like and that was interesting. So let's first start off with the fact that it was 2.5 hours long. When I saw that, I almost stopped breathing, because in what world in these days when our attention spans are half a second, where anybody's going to sit down in a movie theater for 2.5 hours? I might as well wait for it to come on streaming and watch it at home, right? But I was like, you know what? Let me set some time. Let me watch it. Let me set some time. Let me watch it. And I did it. I set some time and I watched it. Got an evening. Took 4 hours off. Watched the damn movie. And it didn't feel like 2.5 hours. It honestly felt like an hour and a half. Like, it felt really short. It didn't feel long at all. And I wasn't itching to get out of the movie theater. Sometimes when a movie's too long, you're itching to get out of the movie theaters. And it felt very short, actually. It was like everything was so good. And every single scene in the movie was exactly what we needed to see and hear and be part of. So there's that. Now, the only person I think shouldn't have been casted was Pedro Pascal, because I don't understand why he's here. It could have been done by any other actor, in my personal opinion. His acting was not great. Moving on. The two people who end up being emperors, Emperor Geta, Joseph Quinn, and Fred Hetchinker, were incredible. They were like little mini psychopaths. They were, the devil spawns. They were incredible in their role. They kept, like, when they were really passionate in terms of some lines, they were spitting. I found it gross, but like, it draw this in at the same time. Like, I was like, okay, that's those little things. It's like works. You have Connie Nielsen, who plays Lucilla. Honestly, I'm gonna hold you. I don't remember Gladiator 1, because when was that? Gladiator 1 was amazing, but when was it? So the girl who plays Lucia is Marsilius' wife. Right? I don't know. And she looks, I love Lucia, but she looks really old. And I honestly could not picture her being married to Pedro. Like, they should have picked a different person to play Pedro, because I cannot see Pedro and Connie getting married, like being married and being like lovey-dovey, like my husband, my wife. I can't see it. Like, Connie looks 80, while Pedro looks 50. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I do not like talking about women's age and things like that, but like, I just didn't see them being a married couple. I know Marcus Acacius ended up being like a really good guy, and of course, like, Lucy is a good person, so she's gonna pick a right man. Like, she could pick a second husband. He's gonna be a good man, okay? And so, moving on from that, I think Lucia did a satisfactory job for what she needed to do. Okay. Moving on to Peter Mensa. Like, oh my god, Peter Mensa, the black dude. He's in some iconic movies and TV shows. He played Jubartha, and he ended up dying. Like, he just gave his life to these gorilla monkey things. People are saying like the science behind making those things, what's it called? The CGI, I don't know what it's called, wasn't good when it comes to those animals. It was good to me. It was good to me. I don't know. It was good to me. It looks terrifying and scary, because how in the world are those things even existed? Like, does that actually, those animals actually existed back in day during Roman time, and then they evolved and became Black Panthers or gorillas? I don't know what they look like, but that's what they look like to me. Incredible acting from Peter Mensa. Going back to the emperors, out of the emperors, the one who was like really good was Fred Henchiker. Like, he honestly looked like a person he seems like he's not autistic, but has a type of mental disability, and he played a really good job in that. Like, it was really incredible. I would say one of the top 3 acting. And then we can go to Denzel. Listen, Denzel, baby. We don't see Denzel anymore, because Denzel has done his work. He's put his work in. He has kids. He has a son who's getting into acting, who is directing and producing. I don't even know. You can comment down below. Who he can be mentoring. He doesn't need to act. Okay? If he's acting, he's doing it for the love of the sport. Okay? I even saw a TikTok. It's actually an interview that a reporter asked Denzel. And he asked Denzel, said, hey, do you even audition anymore? Denzel goes, The last time I auditioned was 40 years ago. I don't audition. If a script comes by my desk, if I do it, it's because I like it and I'm connected to it. I'm like, yes, that's all right. I want to get to that point where if I want a job, like, the job just finds me. Like, I'm so good at my job that I am just given multiple offers, and I can decide, I can have enough money to the point where I can choose not to take on the job or not, you know what I mean? Instead of taking on any job that is willing to give me a paycheck. We are living in a Canadian, silent recession, just like FYI. But no, Denzel Washington was incredible. I would say Fred Henchiker acting, Denzel Washington and Paul Mescal is definitely like around there. Denzel Washington's acting was incredible. It honestly seemed like he plays, a Roman part-time. We're entering his world. Like, this is what he does, who he is. Like, it looks like Rome being, Macrinius is in his blood. And I love seeing Denzel in these type of roles. And it's interesting because being a black man in a predominantly white cast, obviously you stand out by the color of your skin, but like, how do you still blend in and still, like, it was interesting because his skin wasn't a point of contention, right? Like, he was just like another Roma. And in these type of movies, it really shouldn't be a point of contention because it really doesn't matter, because you have a tons of dark-skinned Roman end up being slaves, end up also being rich, and, also being senators. So it makes sense, even though the senator caucus didn't look like there were a lot of people of color. So it was interesting seeing Denzel Washington in these type of role, because honestly, nobody will actually think of Denzel Washington for this type of role. Like, if anybody were to say, here are the 4 movies that Denzel Washington's going to be in, it's going to be one of them, nobody will pick Gladiator 2. So he's actually challenging himself in being in such a role, which is kind of refreshing. And we get to see him in a different way than we usually do, that consumers don't usually see him in. And it's interesting. I loved it. Like, it's interesting because Denzel is calling the shots and he's this powerful man. But at the same time, his own greed and power actually strips him down and is the reason for his demise. I loved everything about Denzel. Paul Mescal, like, his character Lucius, like, the way he was, like, playing, like, is it just me, was he too close to Ravi, the doctor? Like, every single time Ravi and Lucius, played by Paul Mescal, would talk, I'm like, are they about to kiss? What's happening here? They just sat too close together. Like, do men do that with their friends? Like, I don't know. I was like, what? It just, let us know what's going on. Paul Mescal's acting was quite incredible, but it wasn't extraordinary. But it was really good. I think this will be his breakout role, where he's gonna definitely have the pick of the litter when it comes to scripts and movies and TV show roles that he wants to get into. I feel like Pedro Pascal is doing this for fun. Yeah, I think all of it was like, I think the storytelling was really great, but what I loved, like, I love action films, like a really, really good action films. Like, I grew up on Jackie Chan's action films. My father would watch that, all the time, and it would introduce us to that and Transformers and Fast and Furious. So I am a big action person, but the action needs to be a bit more sophisticated, and that's where this kind of came in. The moves were different than we used to, and it's Gladiator. It has to be different. It has to be outstanding, in terms of the hits and the blows, and how the choreography of the moves between the two people who are fighting, and they're fighting to the death. It's quite interesting and intellectually stimulating. So I love the action scenes in this movie. I also did like the storyline. It made quite sense to us, actually midway through the movie, that Lucius is Marcellus and Lucilla's son, which is really random, but it makes sense, I guess. I don't, like, people said that, I actually don't know what the negative reviews are in regards to this movie, but I actually do like it. Like, I don't see why people wouldn't like it. Again, the only thing I would change is Pedro Pascal's. Don't know why it's in this movie. But other than that, I loved it. Like, I don't know what else you particularly need in this movie for it to work, but I loved it. And I would totally give this actually an 8.5 or even a 9 out of 10. Let me know if you guys are looking at watching Gladiator 2. If you are watching Gladiator 2, if you already watched, leave your comment down below. Like, comment, and subscribe, because I am looking forward to Gladiator 3, because I definitely do see them making Gladiator 3 after this Gladiator 2. They're going to create a storyline where, Lucius is going to rebuild Rome, and there's probably going to be new enemies that come to Rome that try to bring him down, and maybe he gets a wife, he has to find a kid, all of this, maybe Denzel Washington's character Macrinus has a son or like a stepbrother or something. I don't know. So people are saying it wasn't historically accurate, but it's a movie. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And I mean, I know some of the script writing was like interesting. It was kind of like modern day language for a lot of the lines that I was hearing. But again, I love the movie so much I really didn't care. But then again, I'm not a stickler when it comes to those things. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. And don't forget to follow, stay woke, and stay healthy, stay safe. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye.